P.O.L. Review.
Yo, what up everybody? It's me, IntraVenus, back for another episode of P.O.L. Game Review. I'm also from P.O.L. Music, and today we have part 8. That's right, part 8 of the Spawn Retro Collecting from 94 to 96. That's right, 1994 to 96. I have a lot to show you in this episode with 11 action figures in total, and yeah! Yo, thanks for tuning in to episode 8 of Retro Spawn Collecting. I really appreciate y'all. And we're going to start off with 2 figures that I left off with in another episode. And I asked you a question, and I doubt anybody answered. But still, later on down the line, people will be curious. So, I showed you Tremor, original Tremor. And I asked you what you thought the difference was in this, because there's something wrong with that one and with this gold one, special edition Tremor. We'll show you close-ups again. The answer to that question is, for the original paint job one from 1994, what we have here is a unique situation where someone in the packaging department accidentally put the sticker that is involved with the Violator action figure. This is not the stick. This does not have a biting action jaw or fully posable body. That is the exact sticker that comes with Violator. And you'll see they put it in the bottom right, I think, because, or the bottom left rather, is because they were trying to get in the same spot that they were directed to go with the normal stickers. You'll see on the gold one, what it's supposed to say is spring-loaded fixed fist action. It's also in the same corner. But somebody accidentally grabbed the sticker for the Violator and threw it on this Tremor figure. I thought that's pretty hilarious, and I don't know who's experienced that. Some might say, oh, well, you just took one sticker off one, or someone took the sticker off one, put it on the other. There's no residue anywhere else on here. And though you might see the lips of these points are coming up just a little bit, that happens on all of these Spawn stickers. I mean, when you have a sticker that has a lot of little tiny points, little points are going to pull up or get pushed up a little bit. Trust me, this was an accident. And so the answer for this question for the gold one, yep, this is the gold paint variation for Tremor, which was released in 1996. This is a re-release. That one was the original from 1994. This one, they didn't fully paint it. They got the body, like the abdomen, the torso. They got really good the left shoulder. They almost completely missed the fist. The legs are pretty shoddy, and the right arm and the head are not painted well. This is a partially painted action figure, and to me that makes it more valuable, at least kind of cooler. But I do have a fully, like a regular one coming up soon. We're going to compare them again. I'll show you how it's supposed to look. You might just say, oh, well, that's how that one's supposed to. No, it's not supposed to look that way. No, it is not. Alright, next up, before I go into all the Angelas, we've got several Angelas here. I have one in particular I want to cover. That's the gold one. We got gold Angela here. This gold Angela comes from the McFarlane Toys. Keep that in mind as we go a little further. But the reason I want to talk about this first, this is another package mishap. This one, I have 2. This one is sideways. You could say it's cattywampus. We'll get some close-ups, but it's really annoying to see it hanging on a shelf and it's all crooked. So we have these are Angelas. We have several Angelas here. This is 2 gold ones, and both of them happen to have their weapons falling out. One of them has the spear tip and the spear in the spots, but the sword is falling out. The other one has the spear tip and the sword jiggling around in there. The tape they used for these back in the day, it was basically a clear light adhesive Scotch tape, and they would put it on there. They probably wouldn't even press it on the actual items themselves, just across the gaps, so that you wouldn't lose your eyes, so the items wouldn't jiggle around in there. Now, the clear solution to this, for me, it almost looks like they did it, but it's probably hard because of when plastic ages, it bends, and it depends on how you keep it and stuff. You raise up all of the casing just a little bit would be the solution, so that it meets the plastic covering inside. Maybe add an extra covering layer that caps it. Then you wouldn't need any tape at all. I think, so they started out with plastic, which I think was the way to go to keep them in great condition. These cardboard backings, they fall apart easily, they get detached on their own easily, they rot quicker. I believe in the newer series, like I think they're on 20 something now, they've gone back to plastic casing, which makes sense. Probably costs a little bit more than cardboard, but it sure does last a lot better through the times. So we have 2 golden Angelas right there. Let me show you 2 more Angelas. First off, this one also has its spear jangling around in there because the tape is coming out. This is the mail order exclusive limited edition red Angela. You had to mail in for this one. Really awesome. I have a second one coming because this one ended up being yellowed and half opened. I did apply a little bit of packing tape on the corners to keep it from opening itself, which is kind of cheating. I want one that's completely sealed on its own. Before I read the clip and collect, there were no clip and collect on the originals because they didn't put the clip and collect info until the backs of Series 2. And in fact, they didn't add them until what I'm learning now. I'm learning as I go, guys and gals, friends, kids and cadets, I'm learning as I go. They didn't add the clip and collect information until they switched from Todd Toys to McFarlane Toys, is what I'm learning. So you'll see some of these action figures have the Todd Toy variation, and then there's the McFarlane Toy variation. And I can show you that right now as we get into the Todd Toy variation of Angela. You'll see it says Todd Toy in the corner, Todd Toys, instead of McFarlane Toys. On the backs of the Todd Toys variations, they have the Todd McFarlane script instead of the clip and collect. That's why I'm seeing it on certain ones. And you'll see a little bit further in this video, I have more proof of that. And I think that's what's going on here. They put Todd McFarlane on the back of these instead of the clip and collect until they switched to McFarlane Toys. They went from Todd Toys to McFarlane Toys, and they rebranded. And during this period, they actually changed the inner molding that holds some of these action figures. So you'll see that Angela's staff is at a different angle, different position, and it's upside down compared to the other releases. And in fact, this one, so the original Angela for Todd Toys, as far as I know, there's another one with a pink ribbon around it, or I forget if that's also a Todd Toys or a McFarlane Toys variation. But in this Angela, we have a broken staff. I wonder maybe if they remade the molding inside of these in some instances because it was a better idea, it was made more sense for keeping them in good condition and not breaking. So the only one that I have that's broken would be the Todd Toys variation. It is also the oldest, I guess, because it's before the rebrand. But you'll see it's snapped right in the middle of the staff. So I might also have to do an unbox and repair on this one. And she can stand by battle-clad spine. Let's read the clip and collect for Angela.
Angela, a warrior of light. Angela has obtained a hunting permit, as she has chosen Medieval Spawn as her target. Just like Medieval Spawn, Angela is outfitted with armor and a sword. The lance has a remote feature that shoots a spear-like projectile from its tips. She is unaware that both spawns are, like her, fighting against the side of evil.
Yes, that is Angela from Series 2. in 4 variations, 3 variations, 2 of one type. Alright, so next up, we have more of Series 2, and I have 2 variations of Pilot Spawn. Here we have the Todd Toys variation of Pilot Spawn. The Todd McFarlane right up on the back, instead of a clip and collect. Another example, in Todd Toys, they use Todd McFarlane instead of a clip and collect. And then we have the white repaint. I really like the white repaint. The white and the gold, it's hard to choose which one I like the best. If you didn't see the gold one, check out one of my previous collecting videos. This one does have the clip and collect, as it is a McFarlane Toys release instead of Todd Toys. Let's check out the clip and collect and see what it has to say.
While employed by the government, Al Simmons learned how to fly some of the world's most advanced top-secret spacecraft for short, low-altitude flights. Pilot Spawn always had his jetpack close by, using it to fly under radar systems and sneak up on his opponents without depleting his finite powers.
Yes, we have 2 variations of Pilot Spawn, and they are both beautiful. And now, as we move on to Series 3, we have 2 different action figures of the same, and they are both cool variations. So we have first here, Violator 2. And this is Violator 2 without his cybernetic parts. He's often advertised in the back of these as Cyber-Violator, and I think they even mention it on the back in the clip and collect, which I'll mention in a second. This is regular Violator 2 without his cybernetic parts. He is awesome looking, really cool. And then my favorite of the 2 is this really cool, like pinkish red Violator 2, also without cybernetic parts. If we read the clip and collect, it'll have this to say.
Violator 2. Violator is Spawn's most feared enemy. He is determined to make Spawn turn from the side of good to that of evil, as requested by his master, Malbolgia. Now fitted with cybernetic attachments, Violator has become a quicker, leaner, and more effective killing machine.
Yes, neither of these he has been fitted with his cybernetic attachments. I really love them both, but especially this pinkish red one. I'd never seen this anywhere before except for where I had found it. Unfortunately, it does have a little tear at the top of the cardboard, but you know, what can you do? And finally, last but not least, I told everybody I wouldn't go beyond 1996, but this is an exception because I really wanted just this specific figure. I don't want any of the other Manga Spawn figures. I've seen there's Manga Spawn. I don't understand or really know what Manga Spawn has to do with regular Spawn, or if it's a variation in comics, it's a new take. I don't know. I know what manga comics are, yada yada yada, but this is Manga Cyber-Violator. And he looked so cool, I just had to pick him up. He's from Series 10 from 1998, which will be the newest action figure I ever get, probably, at least for a while. After I collect all of these, who knows if I continue. And if y'all want me to continue, well, that's cool. Still has clip and collects in 1998. And you'll see on the back of here, this is quite beaten up. In fact, I did also have to apply some tape just to keep it sealed. They sold it to me on eBay as sealed and brand new. I don't know if it got beat up in the box or what, but it half opened in there. And we might also do an opening of this on video. It is not broken in the packaging, but we could at least do an unboxing of it's still retro, 1998. I bet a lot of you that are watching this probably were born after that. So if you want to hear the clip and collect, this is what it's got to say.
Manga Cyber-Violator, an indestructible violator of death. He is the front line of evil sent by the Temple of Darkness to counteract the power of Manga Dead Spawn. He is the mutilating machine of mayhem, shredding skin and cyber tissue from all that stands in his way.
So yeah, I guess the manga is a whole line. On the back, you'll see that around this time they released action figures for Kiss Psycho Circus, which is also a video game that was released on the Sega Dreamcast. And then the Todd McFarlane's Monsters series, where they had things like The Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, Sea Creature, Frankenstein, and such. It looks really awesome, and this is actually a variation. They advertise Cyber-Violator as having red eyes, and at least one variation is this baby has green eyes. So that about ties it up for this episode. Thank y'all so much for sticking around till the end. This was part 8 of Spawn Retro Action Figure Collecting. I hope you enjoyed, and if you'd like more, please check out all the other ones. And don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. If you didn't like it, that's fine. Dislike it, that's cool. But don't forget to stick around for more episodes. Next up, we got a lot more for PlayStation 2, and yes, even more Spawn action figure collecting. And you can see back here, we have Future Spawn, we have a new variation of Nuclear Spawn, we have a great set of Violator versus Commando Spawn in a variant, and Violator is like 3 times as large as the normal Violator in that set. It's really cool. And I got so much more coming. So, hit that bell, you know, yada yada yada. Thanks for sticking around, and I will catch you on the next one.